Welcome back to the show. This is Kds Reviews. This is a review of episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again. It's called Isle of Joy. This episode opens up with Poindexter, a.k.a. Bullseye, in jail. Now, he's being moved over in general population. He doesn't know why. He's like, wait a minute. I was in an isolated cell. Who's moving me? And he's not happy about it. Then they switch scenes with Fisk, a.k.a. Kingpin, taking Vanessa down to the bottom of the basement and shows her that he has Adam down there. And she's surprised that he had her down there because no one knew where Adam was. They switch scenes, and Heather and Matt, Murdoch, are getting into an argument over the death and downfall of the Muse. Heather is saying that she killed the Muse, while Murdoch is saying, if it hadn't been for Daredevil, you would have gotten more trouble. And she's just saying these mass vigilantes, are covering up for something, covering up for their inadequacies. They're covering something, hiding from themselves. And they get into this argument about it. Then they switch back to Adam. Adam was down there in that cage, begging and pleading for his life. Help me, help me. I won't say anything. I want to just leave, And Vanessa looks at Kingpin, and Kingpin's just insisting that, hey, I'm not that type of person anymore. I didn't have to show you this, or show you him, but I'm showing you I'm a different man. Vanessa then grabs the gun and shoots Adam. Now, I didn't see that coming. I was thinking Kingpin's going to kill her, going to kill Adam right in front of her. Remember, Adam was the person that Vanessa was having an affair with. And Kingpin kind of like smiles. You can see the look on his face that he's manipulating everything here. But back in prison, Bullseye calls up Murdoch's law firm and asks to speak to Murdoch. Now, Matt doesn't want to speak to him. He doesn't want to have nothing to do with him. But Matt Boss insists and says, oh, well, he needs to have a good defense attorney. He's like, he killed Foggy. But then he just breaks down, okay, I'll go see him. And when he gets to the jail, Murdoch and Bullseye and this go back and forth argument, and Bullseye keeps pushing him and getting him more angry and angry. And Matt finally gets mad and he slams his head against the table. Matt slams Bullseye's head against the table, and all Bullseye does is get up bleeding, his mouth bleeding, and says, "Thank you, counselor." Now, unbeknownst to me, unbeknownst to the audience, when Murdoch slams Bullseye's head against the table, he knocked his teeth out. He used that teeth to get out of jail. I'm explaining to you how. The cop comes back in. No, the doctor comes back in to check on him. No, the cop does. That was right the first time. The cop comes back in. He spits that tooth out so fast, he puts his eye out. Kills the other cop. Kills the doctor. And he makes his escape. And meanwhile, back in town, Kingpin is having this black and white ball where he's putting the squeeze on all these councilmen about they're going to help him with his project, his downtown dock project. And he has something on all of them. He's threatening them now, He's really tightening the grip on all of these councilmen. Meanwhile, Heather's there by herself because she was an invited guest. Murdoch didn't want to go to it because he knew that they were using her to prop up Kingpin. So finally, Murdoch shows up, and she's surprised. She said, I've been calling you. I've been texting you, and there's no response. She says, what is your problem? Is there something going on that you're not telling me? She said, you're hiding something. Meanwhile, at the same time, she's trying to talk to him. Murdoch leans in with a super hearing, and he can hear Fisk putting a squeeze on these different councilmen. Meanwhile, all this is going on. Bullseye is getting closer and closer to the ball. Now, there's a dance going on. And then Murdoch cuts in on Fisk and takes Vanessa. He's like, and Kingpin is like, what? And he's just dancing with Vanessa. He starts telling Vanessa, I know you were the one that had Foggy killed. I know you were the one that had him set up to kill him. Vanessa's saying, I don't know what you're talking about. He said, does your husband know that you had Foggy killed? He thinks he's getting squeezed, but unbeknown to Murdoch, on the other side, Wilson Fisk is dancing with Heather, Murdoch's girlfriend. He starts talking to her about vigilante. He says, do you wonder why your boyfriend here is always supporting these mass vigilantes? The man's hiding something. Would you like to know what this man is hiding? And as we see this going on, all of a sudden, Bullseye shows up at the ball. He sneaks in. He's undercover as a cop. He killed the cop. He took his uniform. And he gets on a perch. And he starts taking aim. We don't see, now the camera doesn't show you from his point of view who he's aiming at, which is, I think, is a key point. He goes. They keep dancing. They don't know that the Bullseye is up on top. Now, Kingpin is dancing with Heather. He spins her around, and when he spins her around, it opens his chest up. And then Bullseye takes a shot, surprisingly, at Kingpin. Now, I was surprised at that. Kingpin, of all people. But Murdoch jumps in front and takes the bullet. I was like, what in the world? I was surprised by that. They all grab Kingpin, and they grab Vanessa, and they start rushing them out of there, and everybody's screaming and running. But nobody takes a shot up at the perch, which I was surprised. Nobody shot up. They look up, but no one takes a shot up at the perch. Meanwhile, on the ground, Murdoch is on the ground, bleeding to death. And then Heather goes over to try to check on him, and then the camera fades to black. Now, I rewatched that scene again, because I thought, well, maybe he was actually shooting at Heather, Murdoch's girlfriend. But when he spun her around and opened himself up, Kingpin did. He was trying to shoot Kingpin. And I'm like, well, why is he trying to shoot Kingpin for? And then I thought about it. At the beginning of the episode, Bullseye was being moved to the general population. Now, who did that? They all think that Kingpin did. Perhaps that it was Vanessa. And I think that Bullseye was trying to take a shot at Kingpin to hurt her. Because Bullseye was thinking that if he got in the general population, they would kill him. So, what did you think about episode 8 of Daredevil Born Again? This show is really, really gripping. Like I said before in my last episode, you don't even have to like to watch comic book shows or comic book movies. I mean, Mrs. KDS is all into this thing. I mean, she's all into it more than I am. You know, there's only 9 episodes in this season. That means there's 1 episode left. That means next Tuesday's episode is the end of this season on Disney Plus. Remember, Kds Reviews is seen every Wednesday and every Sunday. I'm doing some commentaries throughout the week about the state of Hollywood and the movie, and we cover Daredevil. This is Kds Reviews. If you like this type of content, then like, subscribe, and share. And this is Kds Reviews, and I will see you in the next video.